Oh, hi there! Welcome to episode 4 of the Psychonauts replay by me, Lotus Loves Lotus. Going back through one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game of all time, with critique and commentary by someone who's played it many times and would like to re-explore, to reinvent, to reintroduce to people who haven't played before. Last time we did Mia's levitation course. We now can levitate. We also got a couple of extra powers from Cruller because
Can't get a good grip.
that's the wrong button. Don't listen to me ever again. Anyways, we got a couple of other powers just by leveling up regularly from Cruller. From what we know, this will be our third time going to the Brain Tumbler experiment. First time we needed shooting, second time we needed levitation. We got both those things now. We should be able to get on our way, and then we'll see what happens next.
Okay, I'm a certified levitator now. Ready to roll.
I've been running some tests. It seems that the sensitive circuitry of the brain tumbler is picking up too much psychic interference to be safe. The thoughts of some other entity are interlacing with yours at a dangerous level, which explains many of the strange things you've seen. I must call off the experiments until we know more.
Sasha, there's no time. I think my vision about Dogen came true. I'm worried it's gonna happen to the others if we don't get to the bottom of this quick.
But we don't know where the foreign projections are coming from yet.
Is there a faster way to find out than sending me in there to investigate?
Well, damn, you got me there, Rasputin. I was trying to be a responsible adult and educator, but, you got my ass. I do think every time Sasha kind of makes a concession to Raz is extremely funny. This one is definitely done a little bit more seriously, but I still think that it's very funny. The silent stroking of the chin and shaking of the head, it's fabulous. Ouch, hey! I was fixing my screen. A quick tip for you gamers. If you are doing the 100%, most people would just kind of walk along, but make sure you do this, because you cannot come back here. Wait, I'm an idiot. Wait, I'm actually thinking of something else. I'm such a troll. Never mind. That's completely wrong. Or is it? No, wait, hang on. If I could stop running into these. There is something over here that I remember. Isn't there? No, there isn't. How curious. I'm sure I'll think of exactly what it was later. There's very few things that you can miss in the game, like if you're going for a 100%. Very, very few things that you cannot go back for at any point in time using the Brain Tumbler. And I swore that was one of them. That there was a side power upgrade here, but maybe it's the one I already got. You can also definitely go all the way up the tree using levitation, but I suck, so I'm not gonna do it. I'll fall. Look, I already embarrassed myself once, thinking that that was something that you could only do right now. I don't need to embarrass myself a second time.
Why are you screaming? All right, I remember.
Ugh!
Oh,
Those
good
jiggle physics.
boy, there's that pesky brain. Here's a tissue. Now, don't you feel better, my dear lad?
TV?
Of course! Right here! And this bad tooth, we'll just drop it in the old garbage chute. Now don't chew solid foods for 6 hours!
What's up, Dogen?
TV.
It sure is, bud. Woo! Ugh. Break that fourth wall. Shatter her. Alrighty. This is a curious little fight.
Man, I am so smart.
It's not too bad, though.
Here I come.
Basically need to trick it into shooting at you, and then once it fails to shoot you, it gets confused. Then you do a quick little lock on. But yeah, it can be kind of odd when it gets confused versus when it throws confusion grenades. It's like, it's not hard, but it's just a little bit... It can be a little bit difficult to get the behaviors correct. Ooh, especially if you get got like this.
Grenade.
Do you see how smart I am and how big my brain is that I was able to navigate my way over properly? Ugh, I love me. I think the main thing is that they just don't want you to be able to do this fight too quickly, so I don't think that you can do what I'm trying to do, where you can immediately get like 2 shots in a row. Let me grab that just in case. I don't think that using... Well, I guess I could try it, but I'm pretty sure that using your Psy Blast is not better or any faster than using just your fists. In fact, I think it actually doesn't work. Let's try it. Yeah. Oi! God, that scared the shit out of me. I forgot. I'll have to turn that down later. This part's also just weird. I think, anyways. I would just eat this damage. I do not care. Huh!
Is this a nightmare? Or a plan? Or both? Wait a minute.
This looks awfully familiar.
Rasputin, I'm sorry. I had to abort the experiment.
Not
Something
now,
unbelievably
Sasha.
urgent has come up and I must leave immediately.
I know! You'll never believe—
Hold that thought. In a rush. Official Psychonauts business.
Wait! So is this! Official Psychonaut, eh? You forgot your—
Hey! Hatching a plan.
Hey, that white room.
I know! It's from Oleander's mind. I think I was in the coach's dream that whole time. Ever since I stepped through the static in the caravan, it felt funny. I knew I wasn't obsessed with meat.
But Maury is. And was stealing psychic brains to arm a fleet of deadly tanks, apparently.
I've got to tell Lily. She's waiting for me down by the boathouse.
Down by the water? Uh-oh. Better hurry.
I will say, normally I would find it kind of annoying to have, like, the kind of what you just saw restated here, right? Like, yeah, I get it. But I have played this game 6 or 7 times. And I especially think if you were a kid, you may not have gotten that right away. Especially if you're playing the game the way I'm playing it, where you're spending significant amounts of time in between each level. Normally the way I would play the game is I would run straight through each level and I wouldn't make all this effort to explore the camp and talk to the campers, but because I'm doing that, it is a little bit more distance. But yeah, it looks like Coach Oleander is stealing the kids' brains to use their psychic powers. To arm a fleet of tanks. Also, I'll be straight up. I meant to say this at the top of the episode, but I didn't. I'm a little tired, I won't lie, recording this. But more importantly, and the reason that I decided to record this anyways, is I don't have all that much to say critically or analytically about this kind of section of the game. I just don't. I just think it's pretty good. I have very little that I'm like, well, you see. I think it's just good. And I think this is probably the first moment where Psychonauts like really gets people. Yeah, I think you were already interested, you were already having fun. But this is where you're like, oh, now this is a game, baby. Now this is a video game. It is also nighttime now, which sucks. And that's why I still recommend getting as much of the collection stuff done as you can during the day. I'll show you why in just a second. Right over there. I'm gonna save just in case this kills me, because it might. These enemies suck. These cougars, and I will show you why. So if you get too close, you get the pyrokinesis thing, you get set on fire, and you take quite a bit of damage. You take a brain and a half, or a heart and a half. The problem is they're usually in really difficult to get to locations. Their pyrokinesis is the same range as your Psyblast, and it will activate faster than you can kill them with Psyblast, even if you abuse the little, like, kind of bug exploit thing that I use with the backflipping. You cannot do it fast enough. So, they're pretty rough. They are awful. I really hate them. And you have to run all the way out of range, keep in mind, or else they will just set you on fire repeatedly. Luckily, once you kill them, they are gone for like quite some time, but they are still horrendous, horrendous creatures to fight. You can like get set on fire and then run up with your levitation ball and just start smacking them, but then they usually set you on fire again, so it's like, I just feel as though it's easier to do it this way, and yet, the easier way to do it is still a pain. I am not going to go to the lake yet. I would like to look around for some campers really quick, because this is the last time we'll get to see them for a while. I actually don't even know how many of them are around. The game obviously at this point instills quite a sense of urgency in you, so I have never looked around super hard for the campers, but I am curious as to what they're doing. So, just like last time, if I run around and I see basically nobody, then the video will abruptly fade out and then back in, and I will be going to the lake, so... If I can't find anyone, I'll see you then. If I find someone, then hell yeah. Oh dear. I tried to say oh dear and oh geez at the same time and it came out as oh dear. Oh dear. They're just so annoying. Ooh, I set that squirrel on fire. But guess what? It's gonna make me a tasty little snack.
Sorry.
Squirrel roast dinner, full HP, baby. I'm glad I got to show that off. Because there's actually, like, yeah, you can get those. And normally you have to do it by setting the squirrels on fire yourself with pyrokinesis. But if one of the cougars sets you on fire, you can set it on fire. And that's a slightly more pacifistic way to do it. I do feel bad killing the squirrels. I think if you do, though, you get special dialogue from Raz where he says, like, see you in hell! Which is, you know, something you can scarcely say in a children's video game. Yeah, we're just gonna go on to the lake. I didn't really find too much of note, other than that little squirrel thing, of course. I guess the only other thing I really said of import was I feel a little bit conflicted on the transit system in the game, you know, the little Whispering Rock underground tunnel system. I think it's actually called the Whispering Rocket is its official name. But I just feel a little bit conflicted because I feel like there's so much love put into like every corner of the game and all the campers and all their different interactions that you can randomly stumble upon that I think it's kind of a shame that the game makes it so simple and seemingly encourages you to maybe not skip all of it, but it encourages you to go through everything quite quickly, right? And it's just unfortunate because you'll end up missing a lot of the cool stuff. So I as convenient as I find it, I either wish it wasn't in the game or it was less substantial or that it only showed up later in the game, something to that effect. because the game does put a lot of urgency in you here, and there's no campers around, right? I walked all around, there aren't any campers anywhere to talk to. And I just think it would be really effective if, you know, this whole game, every time you go somewhere, you kind of see the campers hanging around. Maybe you talk to them, maybe you stick around for their little cutscenes, maybe you don't. But you still see them and you really feel their presence. And then to be like, hey, things are getting really weird. Like, Sasha is gone on official Psychonauts business and isn't really listening to you. And by the way, everyone is gone. I think that would be so spooky and effective. It's doing a little bit right now, but I feel like I'm kind of having to make that up in my own head. You know, like I'm having to really get into the game and really roleplay when I think it could just be part of the game, you know? Anyways. That's a scavenger hunt item in there. I'm gonna grab it with the old levitation.
Children, please remember not to pet or feed the
Sorry, Crowley.
animals at Whispering Rock. The titanium in the food chain has caused numerous psychic mutations.
Oh no, that
and
squirrel
the
has the
animals
nut. How am
you
I gonna get
encounter,
it?
especially at night, might be more dangerous than the kind you have back home.
Sucker. And I think we only have a couple. Oops, wrong button. Only a couple scavenger hunt items left, I think, if not one. Fuck me, which one is it on? Oh, there it is. Oh, we have 3. Okay, I know where 2 of them are. We'll leave that for later, though. I just wanted to get that while I was here, and also because I was talking and I felt weird about talking without doing anything. So I was like, I'll do this while I'm walking around.
Bobby! Uh-oh. Look, I can explain.
Not the whack.
Jeez, it sounds like you caught a bad cold.
Maybe. But listen. I traced the psychic interference back to Coach Oleander's radio. He's been broadcasing his
And she did that all on her lonesome
all
without
over
Sasha
camp
9.
in his sleep.
So he's really kidnapping children and stealing their brains to make weapons.
Yes. Isn't that great?
What? How is that great?
Because this is an honest-to-goodness psychic emergency.
And Sasha's not here. He left on some official Psychonauts business.
Mia left a note saying the same thing.
Lily, a deranged madman is building an army of psychic death tanks to take over the world. And there's no one who can stop him, except for you and me.
Oh my god! Let's make out!
What?
Sorry, I'm just so excited. Since you showed up, Raz, things
Hey,
are
look,
so
a
much
pizza.
more exciting.
Not too interested though.
Sinister death
TV?
plots, mad scientists,
No, still have a
hideous
brain.
monsters.
Make out?
How long have I ignored what this camp
A
had to
pocket
offer?
watch? Nar.
Everything's new to me now, thanks to you. I mean,
But that
look at this
herbophony in
flower.
Lily's brain kicking in.
Yes?
How many
'Cause that's a
years have I
flower.
been coming here, and I've never even noticed a cool flower like this before.
Ow.
Oh no! You didn't just hit my boyfriend!
Lily!
Let's get him.
I can't. I can't swim.
Well, then use the bathysphere at the end of the dock. Quick, while the flipper prints are still glowing.
Are you coming? I don't know how to drive that thing.
I can't. I have to check on the other children. Yes. If the brains are out, they'll need supervision and possibly refrigeration. And how can you not know how to operate a bathysphere? Haven't you ever been to summer camp before? Now get a move on before that girl gets overly digested.
Yeah, we've all been to summer camp and done the bathysphere course. Come on, Raz. I guess he is a circus freak. Oh, let's get in there. Oops. This place is a little jank for the levitation pole, but that's alright. We're not in that much of a hurry. It's very clear where we're going. And, the whole bathysphere thing is part of why I want to make sure y'all know the history of Whispering Rock, because it's relevant. It's about to be. In a way that I would say a lot of players don't notice. I don't think I noticed it my first time through. I just kind of accepted what was going on and didn't really ask why. Yeah, right on that mucous membrane. Wait! So yeah, this is the ruins, or part of the ruins, of Shaky Claim, the town, the boom town that sprung up in this area, and then it was later completely and totally abandoned because everyone was unfortunately going insane due to the
I think I
Psychonauts.
see a piece of teriyaki salmon jerky over there in that clam. Why don't you go eat that instead? Poor gross little sucker fish. It can't breathe. I should kill it.
Raz. Ow. It's fine though. We don't need to kill the poor guys. But in fact, while we're here, why don't we get into a little bit of this? The thing is, if you're good enough at mashing, you don't have to be in the perfect, correct location. Which I love. Yeah, I feel also that a lot of people may not know that you can talk to a bunch of random stuff. Like, you can talk to the random fish and things. If you just try to use the interact button, like if you just try to press Y while you're next to something, sometimes Raz will have stuff to say. Again, just saying, lending credence to my theory that this is a third-person adventure game. A third-person real-time adventure game, I think, is the terminology I used. There's a big old bell here, but who wouldn't want to do this in real life? I don't entirely know how you're supposed to figure that out, other than the fact that it's the only thing here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's an environmental clue. There's not too much in this little area, so you don't need to know, you know? Man, Raz's eyes looked a little blunted
Okay,
in this.
cough up the
Doesn't
girl
he
and
look a
no one
little like...
gets hurt, fish. Man, it's gonna be hard to find a new place to give you lumps.
It's just the lighting, I'm sure, but I think it's funny. Raz learned a different kind of herbophony. Okay, sorry, that's enough. Bap. And bap. We got a lot of nail boxes this time, which is nice. Oh, damn it. I thought I barely had enough time. Let me not get whacked. I'm gonna go ahead and try to destroy the nail boxes that are a little bit closer to, oh, I almost gave something away. To this big monster. Make my life slightly easier. Then we get these little chase sections, because remember, as you can see by those hands, Raz is cursed as hell, and he cannot go here. But I want to be cocky because what can this monster do to me? I'm walking. I'm fucking walking here. Not really picking up much though, I gotta say. Oh, it sounds like it's getting warmer though. Getting much warmer. Well, now it seems colder again. Ah, super cold. Icy cold now. I should have gone off track a little bit. I'm gonna leave the rest of these up because I think they're pretty. Oh, can't leave this one. Rats. You do have to be a little bit more patient in this section than I perhaps would like. Or rather, I think the speed of it is a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes it'll ask you to go extremely slowly and other times to move quite quickly. And like, yeah, that's part of the challenge and all that, but it's a little bit inconsistent for my liking. Especially for a first time through. I think it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Sorry, that jump took me so long. So embarrassing. No, don't. Oh. I tried to kill that sucker fish a million times, and not a single time did it work correctly. 3 hits and 3 misses. Oh well. Let's go ahead and head on up. I think I'm getting close to something. Oh yeah. Here we go. Woo! Look at me, a 514 arrowheads. Jeez! That's a pretty good amount. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I almost died.
I'm not picking up anything.
My controller wire got stuck on my foot, and so I was distracted. It's still stuck on my foot, but let me not die. There I go. I have untangled myself. Victory for Lotus once more. Alright, here we go. I suppose I don't mind. I don't mind the section being slow at all. I definitely think it's better for something to be too easy than too difficult. The problem is that, again, the inconsistency, where it will be too easy, then all of a sudden be more difficult. And even if it's not that difficult, you know, overall, like that difficult in general, by comparison, by what you've been taught, it seems very hard. Which is another theme we will get to in Psychonauts later. Ouchie, damn lamprey. I think I'm out of deep arrowheads to find in this like entire section. Usually when the dowsing rod, you know, says that it's out. Oh no, here we go. Oh, I know. I guess these do count as different areas. How interesting. I do believe this is the only time you get to go to this section, but there are no collectibles here, so luckily there's nothing for you to miss. That would obviously be a big concern, right? You can only come here once, and it's at this exact time, but yeah, no collectibles, so you're fine. Here we're getting more into Shaky Claim. Well, you can see it says right there, Shaky Claim nail makers. It doesn't say makers, but it says the equivalent to the word maker, but for nails. Nail creators? Nail hammerers? Oh, it's probably not hammerers. It's interesting that sometimes the health bar will kind of glow over there. Or rather, it'll bring it back up. It's like, hey, just so you know, you are in a boss fight, bud. Don't forget it. Because yeah, as far as boss fights go, it's a bit mundane, I suppose is the most polite term. It's a bit mundane. Uh-oh, not the camera getting stuck right there. Well, that's alright. You can see that it's luckily quite forgiving. That's what I get for trying to show off. I get the camera stuck and then I'm like, why can't I move? And then, next thing you know. However, I want that deep arrowhead, and I think I'm standing, yep, right on it. Excellent. Alright. Wow, that was 300. They're worth so much in this area. So I definitely now have enough for the cobweb duster. We don't gotta worry about that anymore. I can't necessarily say that I really recommend you going out of your way to get arrowheads right here, right now. But I am saying that they're worth a lot, even compared to the usual. And yeah, I mean, hey, it worked for me. Alrighty. Y'all know how boss fights work. Big glowing red thing. Meet danger. As Raz so wisely commented when we were talking to those little lobsties, these little clams will smack shut, and if you were earlier walking around, you might have accidentally stepped on one, so you already know this information. Just need to apply it here, although it can be a little weird where you need to stand sometimes. But not too big a deal for us, because we're smart.
Oh, poor little thing.
That poor little thing just tried to kill me about 8 different ways.
Well, that's not its fault. This
Yeah.
was once just a normal-sized lungfish, minding its own business in a mucus-lined air bubble beneath a semi-dry lake bed. But judging by the work done on it, I suspect Maury has mutated it, accelerated its growth, and has placed an implant in its brain to make it do his evil bidding.
Oh, poor little thing.
Yeah, go inside there and try to smash the implant. Use the psycho portal I saw you steal from Sasha's lab.
Oh, yeah. That works on big scary monsters?
Oh, monster schmonster. That thing's more afraid of you than you are of it. Now get in there.
You instill that empathy, Ford. Because I do think that Raz is a pretty stock standard sort of protagonist. Not in his personality or anything, but in his kind of mannerisms and what makes him special. He's very, very determined. He's really good at the more aggressive, or like physically minded. It's funny they say physically because these are psychic powers, but the more physically minded powers. He's very acrobatic. He's very physically fit. He's good at punching. He's good at shooting. Whereas everything else he is either not as good at or doesn't know how to do. So I think it's nice that there's a little moment where Cruller tries to teach him to be a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more mindful, as opposed to just being stronger. Again, maybe I'm reading into it a bit much, but I like it. I also love the way that he holds this little door. It's very cute to me. Anyways, I also imagine that Cruller straight up saying, hey, why don't you use the Psycho Portal? And then having this kind of speech about what's sort of wrong with it is probably another case where players were getting lost, and I can't entirely say I blame them. Although this place is completely blocked off. I really do. Well, I'd say I hate to keep harping on it. Hate is the wrong word. I think that... nail factory. It's just a simple word. That was going to be a special word. Anyways. I don't hate to keep harping on it, but it really does paint every part of this game. But again, if this was a point-and-click game, you would probably be very used to using items from your inventory on the environment. But because you mostly run and jump around, you don't as much. So yeah, that is a place where the transfer to a 3D platformer was maybe not as smooth. Players being like, whoa, where do I go? Am I supposed to try to run out of the water? Am I supposed to try to levitate somewhere? What am I supposed to do? But the answer is you just go to your inventory and you do this. And I will now be welcoming you to one of the most iconic worlds in all of Psychonauts, and one of my personal favorites, even though the gameplay is jank as shit.
Top of the morning to you, ma'am.
And good day to you, Officer Lungfish.
Look at the
How are you
baby.
today?
Oh, damp and happy, can't complain. And what are you and the wee one up to on this lovely day?
Oh, just obeying the law as always. All posted directives followed to the letter.
Ah, good to hear. Not a one of us want any trouble, that's for sure. Ah! Oh, Gogolo!
Why Raz feels compelled to scream here, I have no idea, but I adore it. Yeah, the thing that's a little bit difficult is if you walk over anything, you'll just really mess it up. I always try to go through here being a little bit more gentle, but it's so difficult. Although I do love the sound of these trees falling over. That little snap is just satisfying, but yeah, I'll try... How about we try to do as much of a pacifist run as we can?
Hey, Goggalor! Down here!
Excuse me. Were you talking to me?
Ah! Ow! My ears!
I'm sorry.
Ah! Oh my god! Ah!
Are you okay?
He's dead.
Oh geez, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. Every member of the Resistance is prepared to die, fighting the tyranny of Kochamara.
What's Kochamara?
He's a giant monster like you, Goggalor. He brainwashed and enslaved almost everyone in Lungfishopolis.
That stinks. So hey, have you seen any other humans around here? I'm looking for a girl called Lily.
The government archives might have some information about your young girlfriend, Goggalor.
Yeah, I don't know if she's really my girlfriend. I mean, I think she...
I only meant that she is your friend who was a girl, Goggalor. To access the archives, we must first destroy the broadcast tower Kochamara uses to control the populace.
Check. I'll go smash that then.
Wait, Goggalor! In order to reach the tower, you'll need to pass through that wall of lasers. But you'll never make it through the lasers without our help.
So are you gonna start helping soon?
First, I need you to do something for the Resistance. Punch a hole in that prison and free my comrades.
The bit where the dead Resistance fighter starts twitching on the floor, and then while the other Resistance fighter is talking, Raz silently points at him, looks back, and then looks back once more, and then just kind of shrugs it off, is one of my favorites in anything. And by favorites, I mean favorite anything in anything. It is such a good example of just really well done character animation, and just such a good little bit with no words. It's so funny. Anyways, if y'all are here from my stream, you're about to hear something you recognize.
Freedom!
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 Hoo-yah! Now, how about getting me past those gates?
Right. We stole the shield power module from Kochamara. It's too big for any of us to operate, but it should work for you.
You know what that means. Ba-ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-bum, bum-bum-ba-dum. There we go. Only a couple more.
Hey, is this gonna upset Kochamara and all your little brainwashed neighbors?
No! I doubt it. No.
So, knocking down the prison and then breaking this laser shield thing, nobody's gonna get mad about that and start shooting at me.
No! Maybe one guy would.
But what is even an entire navy of lungfish against the might and revolutionary zeal of Gargalor?
Wait, what navy?
Meet us at the dam, Gargalor.
For freedom! Ugh, I love them. Anyways, let me apply that psychic shield. This isn't one of my favorite powers, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and put them like this, actually. Whoops, not like that. Like that. We cannot levitate here. We're very heavy. So levitating, not our forte. You can actually also step on them. If you get your feet too close to them, you'll squish them and then they'll die. Uh-oh.
The peaceful city of Lungfishopolis is under attack tonight by a
That voice
hideous,
sounds
gigantic
familiar.
monster the terrified citizens have named Gargalor. The Navy has responded quickly and decisively, dispatching its entire tank division to neutralize the creature. Soon, authorities say, everything will return to normal or better. Kidnapping human children is good.
Hey, what was that last bit? It's very Fox News of them, I'll say that much. Yeah, I think part of the tanks, of course, having such range with their little rockets is to try to teach you to use the shield power, but I prefer to do this. Just lift them up. You can also lift them up from far away like this, and then throw them. Woo! I said a pacifist run, but those are tanks. They can choke. But the regular-ass little people, I will try not to murderize. Ouch. I think it's pretty normal to take a lot of damage in this world. I certainly take a lot every time I go through it. I think other players take a lot, even using the shield power extremely liberally. It's very difficult to not take a lot of damage. But you know, do your best and whatever. I also will not be getting the bags in this world. I'll just show you that this one's here. But this is because
This guy needs a duffel bag tag.
you're very, very heavy and you walk very, very slowly. And that is the drawback to this level, is that it's not so much fun to play, in my opinion.
It's Gargalor! He hates children!
Who said that? There's also a lot of funny dialogue when you smash stuff. Like, let me smash one building. Alright, let me smash 2 buildings. No? How about another one? Alright, I guess we'll just have to wait. But there's a lot of optional dialogue when you smash certain things, and people, the little lungfish civilians, lungfishopolisians, I don't know about that. They'll say some extra stuff, but yeah. We'll get into it some more. Also, a note to future Lotus, turn this down in post, because this is loud as hell too. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. Here it goes though. Get rid of those. And unfortunately that noise will persist for a little bit. And we're just gonna do our best to ignore it when we go back over there. Look at these little basketball courts. In the old prison here. Free my boys, they didn't do nothing wrong. Ugh.
Freedom!
Freedom! Freedom! Love them.
Freedom! So, this big monster, is that the best you could do?
We were short on time, and he is good at smashing things.
I sure
Doesn't
am.
look like much to me. Come on, let's blow this joint.
Hey, you're welcome.
Sorry about him, Gargalor. He's been in prison a long time. He's the only pilot the Resistance has, and he has an excellent plan. Meet us at the dam so we can put it into action.
I love that what being in the slammer for too long does to you is give you a posh accent and make you a little bit snooty and cynical. Like, yeah, that, sure, right, yeah. Oh, Vapris. Just because I'm here. We really obliterated this tunnel. I also think it's a funny detail that a lot of the figments in this world have the brainwashing stuff on them. Like, some of them are just regular signs, you know, obviously meant to be evocative of, like, the Japanese skyline in Godzilla and things like this. Bye bye.
Nothing can stop him.
But some of them, they will say things like brains, or they will be encouraging you to kidnap human children. And then, of course, some more propaganda.
Well, things have gotten a little embarrassing for Gagalor. Recently surfaced information has strongly linked the previously intimidating monster with common low-life criminals. Earlier tonight,
Gagalor on
broke
drugs?
some of his jailhouse cronies out of the slammer so they could enjoy a night on the town, popping pills and soliciting inexpensive call girls. Well, they're in for one nasty hangover. Our beloved Navy has come up with a high-tech new invention. Trucks armed with hyper-electricity. Kidnapping children do not harm the brains.
I'm surprised you're allowed to say soliciting inexpensive call girls on a, you know, a video game for young people. Anyways, I murked their asses, so we're feeling fine. Boop. Oh, I didn't see you there behind that little theater thing. Anyways, excuse me. Excuse me, excuse me. Just trying to get by as a giant monster. Excuse me.
The destruction and terror continue as the hulking, godless
No quarter
child
from
beast
Gagalor.
carves a bloody swath through our helpless city. Our noble, all-volunteer Navy has been surprised only by the senseless lust for mayhem that seeps from the twisted black lump of a heart in this creature, still known only as Gagalor. Though it loathes violence in all its forms, the Navy has no choice but to activate its anti-monster turrets, which it guarantees are 100% monster-proof. Not get caught stealing children.
I don't know, you guys. 100% is pretty high. Oops, I did that a little too slow. That one's on me. Bonk.
Ha! Now you see the genius of our plan, Gagalor.
First we print flyers, then we spread them all over town with my blimp.
Winning
Is
over
that-
the hearts and minds of Lungfishopolis
Is that what
in
we're
as
doing?
soon as 6 months.
Not the Democratic
6 months.
Party.
You don't like our plan, you can come up with another one.
Yes, we are busy. We have to select card stock and then find a decent but inexpensive printer within the week.
Not the Democratic Party.
I
Leah.
hate you, Gagalor.
What the fuck did you just say to me? I gotta squish you like a bug. But I won't. Because I'm the bigger person. Because I'm very large. Okay. That's enough. Where is it?
Hey!
Hang on, I want those. Wait, no, stop it. I want those.
Hey! What are you doing up there?
Don't worry about it.
Careful, my chai tea!
Doesn't chai tea mean TT? Like, genuinely? Anyways, let me scooch on over. There's a little life over there, a little life up. We don't need it. You can actually fall off this again if you ever need to get back down for some reason or if you miss something, so don't worry about it. Oh, you ran right into my foot, bud. Hey! You guys, there's a speed limit. Oh, this is just like home. They deserve to be squished. There's where a lot of little tanks are in nooks and crannies where they can be hard to get. They try to ambush you. Look at this cute little thing of Coach Share right here holding all the little lungfish civilians. I love this little sign. However, it is, the uncute thing about the sign is that it is obviously like very deliberately evocative of the rising sun flag of Japan. You know, the imperialist fascist one. So, as simple as this game may be sometimes, it does do some things. I'm not saying that that's a particularly deep or interesting sort of thing, but it is doing it, you know? It's keeping it nice and simple and says, yeah, this is all about propaganda. Yeah, this is about tricking people into supporting your wily causes through fear-mongering and not entirely honest ways. Anyways, you can actually go across the bridge, but I always like to go through the little town. I don't really know why. I just personally enjoy it. I like walking through here. Looking at the little signs. Definitely not Apple on the left. This is, of course, from 2005 when Apple was a thing, and a thing a lot of people were talking about, but Apple wasn't like a thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think grinding across this little rail is pretty fun. Sorry, train. I probably shouldn't have squished it. I can actually jump over it. There's a couple trains, but the trains run pretty quick. They got a lot of trains. They have a lovely transit system here in Lungfishopolis. So you gotta do it quite a bit. The unfortunate thing too is, oops, sorry, didn't see you there, bud. I'll get to the unfortunate thing in a moment.
We're here with the star of the popular sitcom Trouble in the Bubble, Buddy Finn. Buddy, what's your take on the Goggalore situation? Is he just misunderstood? No way! I hate
Definitely
Goggalore.
a different person.
I can't imagine any one of my fans siding with the monster. He hates everything lungfish care about. Air, water, family, the economy. Buddy, you'll be happy to know that the Navy has decided to pull out what they're most famous for. Airplanes. So
I hate
rest assured, we can
I
all
hate that
look
it's
forward
true.
to Goggalore's imminent death. And to seeing you, buddy, every Thursday night at 8, right here on LBC. Thanks. And I'd just like to add that if anyone kidnaps a human child, they should take them quickly under the lake to the abandoned insane asylum.
Goggalore, come in. We have commandeered these vessels in your name.
Good
We
job,
can put them in
guys.
position to help you cross Kochamara Channel to get to Kochamara Island and destroy Kochamara Tower.
The thing is that, although we have the utmost faith that you will soon contain the area, Goggalore, we
just think it best
we've decided to maintain our position out here.
just until you clear the area of all hostiles.
Yes.
For insurance reasons, Goggalore.
Yes, that, and
For freedom. Yes. I was gonna say the unfortunate thing is you can get stuck on this rail, and you can get stuck quite a bit. You can also get stuck at the end up here, where it goes back into the tunnel. It can be pretty annoying, it can be pretty difficult. In fact, this little island section really kind of sucks. I'll just keep it real with you, it really kind of sucks. And I cannot blame anyone for dying here, because, let me get into first person mode. We have to climb all the way up to the top of those buildings, while those planes are raining bombs on us. And then, yeah. The problem is, the bombs will knock you off of the building, and you can only target the planes once you're standing close to eye level with them, which is all the way at the top. So you can probably see why it's not the best. It's very finicky and can be very obnoxious to try to properly pull off. So yeah, just you know, be aware that this section is kind of annoying, and kind of everybody knows that it's annoying. People don't talk about it so much, I think, because Lungfishopolis is great, right? I haven't been able even to talk very much about Lungfishopolis because the dialogue is so thick and so funny. Like, they're constantly talking, but everything that they say is fabulous. The only good satire I've ever seen is, in fact, Lungfishopolis. So yeah, that's the problem. You climb to the top. I've actually not been knocked off that far, ever, I don't think. Oh, there you go. But yeah, you will get knocked off like that pretty easily. The nice thing is that if a plane runs into you, you do destroy it. But even from down here, I mean, I might be able to do it from down here? No. But you can't target the planes with your side blasts, so you have to... You honestly just kind of have to eat it most of the time and just hope you don't get knocked into the water, because as you saw, normally you have a 1, 2, 3, and then you have a 3 strikes you're out, or on the 3rd strike you will not be able to recover from water. There we go.
Freedom!
But up here, because you're so heavy, you only get 2. And this is also, again, I talked before about how great the ricochet upgrade is for side blast. It's obviously very good here because I only shot like once or twice, and then bada bing, bada boom, all of them were gone. So yeah, ricochet is good for this. It's also just, I'll just be very clear, it's just good in general to be able to shoot 1 bullet and kill like 1,000,000 people with it. Not even for ammo reasons, but it's just extremely convenient, so you know. Oh, sorry, bud. Maybe you shouldn't have drove under my foot. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Well, we're sorry to report that the miserable and incompetent Lungfish Navy is all but sunk. Great work, losers. Now, Kochemara himself will have to come all the way down here just to save our worthless hides. Authorities are calling for a big parade in Kochemara's honor after he clobbers the annoying giant Goggalor. And if the parade is big enough, Kochemara promises not to destroy the city. Brush teeth more often, don't drool so much.
Part of the reason, of course, that Lungfishopolis is so thick with dialogue is because it's very short. Even compared to other levels, it is very, very short, very straightforward.
Hey,
And we're at the end bit here.
Here comes Kochemara!
Look at that mustache. Look at that mustache flying in the wind. I wish I looked that cool. Seeing like the stubby, weird Psychonauts style bodies doing cool karate stuff is so odd. Yes, death drop though. Yes! Which season of Drag Race is this? Where they just do splits at each other? Anyway, sorry. That's my guilty pleasure, is Drag Race. It's not good though, just to be clear.
Give up while you can, Goggalor.
But that's a whole other
I
thing.
know it's you in there, Coach. I don't know where you're broadcasting from, but I'm gonna find out and make
This
you
is a
show
very
me how to
RNG-centric sort of
Kochemara
section,
does
in terms
not
of
speak
speed.
Giant monster boy language.
The only word you're gonna need is ouch.
Mighty Ram!
I hate to say something like, just dodge.
Deadly Triangle Beam!
But you've been taught this whole time to use the shield power, so just react to what he's doing.
Ram!
He trips you up a couple times. There are a couple of like trickier attacks, but for the most part...
Triangle Beam!
Oops, see I did that one wrong. Again, that's what I get for being cocky.
Mighty Ram!
The hold time you have on your shield
Deadly Triangle
is actually
Beam!
pretty generous, so it's always best to start blocking a little bit early instead of a little bit late. You can see in the bottom right that it will like...
Deadly Triangle Beam!
It'll kind of start ticking down, you see?
Sasha showed you how to save up your aggressive energy, huh? Well, why don't I help you let it all out?
No Psy Blast for us.
Mighty Ram Ground Vision!
Ow! I did it bad.
Overly intricate combination! Hard to avoid area attack!
So we'll kind of switch up the timings.
Overly
Oh, damn.
intricate combination!
Which makes your life difficult.
Hard
But I believe in you.
to avoid area attack!
And we're really destroying this area.
Ram!
Also, of course, you can always smash the buildings for some health.
Triangle beam!
I won't give you too much, but there's a lot of buildings, so you should be okay. Back here.
Mighty Ram!
There you go. Oh, there's another one over there.
Ram!
So yeah, the reason this is RNG-centric in terms of speed is that Mighty Ram doesn't do anything,
Triangle beam!
but Triangle Beam does, so you kind of have to wait for him to decide that he wants to Triangle Beam.
Mighty Ram!
Which is unfortunate. I feel like this bit has a lot of cool stuff. Like the idea of having this big psychic fight is very cool.
Ram! Ground vision!
But unfortunately, excuse me?
Overly intricate combination!
It's a very cool setup, right, to be two giant monsters fighting.
Avoid area attack!
But it kind of ends on a low note because this is a bit slow and not too interesting and quite simple to figure out, I would say. It'd be nice if it was a bigger, more epic and quicker paced fight, but man, what can you do?
People of Lungfishopolis, I'm sorry I let you down.
Finally. Okay, Tower. Get ready for Goggalor.
I think this is also really weird. Is like no music plays here and all you have to do is climb this tower, but you only climb it for like a second. It's very weird, but...
Well, he was evil. But he did build a lot of roads. Well, he was evil.
The audacity
a lot of roads.
of whoever wrote this joke. I hate that you're right. Well, he might have been evil, but he saved us 5% on the transit plan. Like, it really do be like that. In the United States, talking about government. Probably other places too. Shoutouts to the people from other places. It sounds so non-specific, but I know I have a lot of regular viewers who are from the UK and Aussie land, so hi. Yeah.
Fine. Take control of this freaky toad. I don't need him to nab children for me anymore. I've got the brain of a little girl back in my lab that's strong enough to power a whole army of Psycho-Blaster death tanks. Huh? What?
You've got the brain of a little girl.
I said in my lab.
I think you've got the muscles of a little girl, too.
Good one.
Dead. Gagalore, 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 Gagalore.
Human child.
Who is that?
It is I, the creature whose spirit was once, over here. Behind you? Yes.
Oh.
The creature whose spirit was once enslaved by the evil one. You have unchained my soul, and now I shall repay you, powerful human child.
Oh. Great. Well, okay. Show me what you did to my friend Lily.
By the drowned spirit of Oblongata, it is done.
It is done. Getting the last chunk of the game here.
When it is your wish to travel across the lake, you may return to either shore and summon me with that.
Thanks, hulking lungfish. You know, you really aren't as hideous as people say.
You may call me now by my true name, Rasputin. The name given to me by my people.
And what name is that, noble lake creature?
Linda.
It's such a good line.
What
I'm
a
so
magical
sorry.
lady.
That is what I wanted to do for the day, though. Get to Thorny Towers. We will not be exploring the exterior. Basically, the second you walk up there, you start getting into stuff. You can actually see Lily's bracelet right over there. So the second we go up, we will start doing things. So I'll have to leave it here. But I did want to talk very quickly about that exchange with Linda, because I think it's very curious. Mainly because that kind of joke and that kind of setup and that kind of punchline is typically a really transphobic joke, to put it extremely simply. And I never thought that this one read that way as a kid, and I still don't think it does, but I thought of it the last time I was playing it, like, hey, you know what? If I didn't know better, I would have thought that they were gonna do some like shitty transphobic joke. And so the question is like, why not? Why isn't it a transphobic joke? What avoids it? And like, what is the joke, right? Because that's something that you see a lot in children's stuff, especially children's animation. It is like a plague in children's animation, where you have a character who has one of two things, right? They're either really big and hulking, like the hulking lungfish, or I should say, they have a really deep, open quotes, masculine, close quotes, voice. And Linda has both of those things because she is a giant fish monster. And then you'll have this character talk and be, you know, mannish and weird or whatever. And then they will say that they have a female name, a traditionally female given name, and then it's like, oh, the joke is that this mannish monster is really a woman. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Am I right, fellas? And that's not funny. It's horribly transphobic. But that is typically what the joke is. And the difference here, I think, is that everything is set up as if the lungfish have this similar but kind of weird other culture, right? Like, Linda doesn't say, I'll tell you my name. She says, I will give you the name that was given to me by my people, the lungfish of Lake Oblongata. And then it's Linda. Like, you know, I don't think the joke would work if it was something like, say, Cassandra or something, but Linda is the most, I'm so sorry to anyone whose name is Linda, but it's a very, like, mundane name. It's the most basic, like, woman name I can think of. I think it's an easy way to tell that this joke was not set up to be a transphobic one, because this joke still works if it's a masculine name. Like, imagine the exact same thing, but she says Gregory. Like, it still works, and I think that's worth looking into, right? It's a funny joke to be like, to have a sort of fake out. And a lot of Psychonauts jokes, and especially a lot of Psychonauts' big jokes, are fake outs. They have a real name. I can't think of what it is right now. When you lead someone to a joke and then it's something else. A bait and switch, that's what it's called. A lot of Psychonauts jokes are bait and switches, where you allow the audience to make an assumption and then you flip the head on that assumption, and then bada bing, bada boom, you have your joke. And not only does this kind of do that, you're expecting Linda to say, you know, something that the aliens from The Simpsons would say, right? In order to pronounce it correctly, I'd have to pull out your tongue. And then it's just Linda. But I think an extra thing that is so odd to this, that I think about a lot, and that is never addressed, if it is, I have completely missed it every time I've scoured over this game. It's never addressed anywhere in Psychonauts, but the hulking lungfish of Lake Oblongata is named Linda. She uses she, her pronouns. Raz calls her a lady. And right before you leave Coach Amara, he, like, misgenders her. And I think it's so weird that is, like, a detail that was left in, right? They, like, make it a point that Linda is a woman, and it's not... You could say that, like, maybe this joke is still transphobic to an extent. It is still treated as a joke that Linda's really a girl. I don't think it reads that way, but I could see if that was, like, its original intention. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's so odd that everyone very earnestly treats Linda as a woman, and yet they deliberately have Coach Amara, like, aka Coach Oleander, like, misgender her. He says, what is it? I'm gonna get the exact wording wrong, but he says, whatever, you can have this stupid fish, I don't need him anymore. And I think that's such a curious little detail. Like, I wish I knew, is this just an accident? You know, is Coach Olander speaking in the way where people talk about animals? You know, a lot of people will just call all animals he. Even I do this a lot with dogs, where I'll just call every dog I meet he, because, like, it's a dog, you know, it's not that important. And I'm just so curious I don't know, if anyone knows if that has ever been addressed or why that is or is not a thing, I would be super curious to hear it. Sorry that bit got a little bit long-winded, but I do think it's important to talk about that. This is a trope of a joke in a lot of children's media, including Psychonauts, which is, you know, at the end of the day, I would call it a kid's game. And it manages not to do it, and that's kind of important to me. And certainly important to me looking back on my 6-year-old self who played this game and was very clearly deeply affected by it, right? So yeah, I don't know. Also, the skybox is scary now. I don't know if I showed that off before. I don't think I did, but it has big spooky screaming faces in it now. Anyways, I said I didn't have much to talk about this episode. That was pretty much it. A few bits and bobs here and there, but overall I just think Lungfishopolis has some of the best writing in the game. It's just so funny. The gameplay is jank, but it's worth it to just get through there and just get all of those delicious little satirical tidbits. Like I said, next up I will climb this little bit, and you'll see the next mind we're going into. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't, and that's okay. But in this last half of the game, or this last chunk of the game, right up until the very last 2 levels, I would say, it is, for me, just banger after banger. Like, Mia's Dance Party into Lungfishopolis, into Redacted, and then into Redacted again are 4 levels straight of just, like, the most fabulous stuff. So, Thank you all very, very much for joining me through this episode. Thank you very, very much to all of my patrons who support me and make it possible for me to do things like this. Again, double hello, because y'all are seeing this early. You can't see me, but I'm waving. I'm doing the same wave that I always do with 2 hands, but I'm waving at you. So yeah, thank you. If you would also like to get early access to these videos and you would like to get your name on the screen in the credits like all of those amazing people, then you can head to patreon.com/Lotus Loves Lotus. There you can support me for as little as $1 a month. Like I said, the main reason is to support me. It lets me keep all of my content free, not only regular free, but also ad free. And yeah, it just helps me out a lot. Currently on a goal right now. I'm only 2 patrons away from playing and streaming Dark Souls 3 when I've never played any Dark Souls or From Software games before. So fingers crossed. Looking forward to that one. It should be a good time. I believe that's all I have to say. I can't think too much of anything else. I'm recording quite late at night, which is why I'm trying to make really sure that I haven't forgotten anything, because I know that my brain is scrambled. But yeah, it's been a lovely time. It was lovely to finally meet Linda. And we're going to continue on our journey in the next one. Thank you all for joining me once again. And yeah, see you later. Bye.